Welkom bij weer een aflevering Can You Do It? De podcast over IT'ers met ambitie. Bij InfoSupport werken 500 software engineers, allemaal met eigen dromen en doelen. In deze 6-delige podcastserie spreek ik elke aflevering met een andere collega die het stofs heeft bereikt. En vandaag is dat Thea Stojanovic. Our guest of today is not a native Dutch speaker, so we will switch to English from now on. Welcome, Thea.
Hi, thank you very much. And really happy actually to get the opportunity to talk to you today.
All right, great. So who are you and what's your role at InfoSupport?
So my name is Thea Stojanovic and I started at InfoSupport in total 3.5 years ago. First I did half year of my internship and then I switched and started to work full-time as a consultant. I am specialized in agriculture. So I also joined the business unit Agriculture, Food and Retail to help develop solutions for farming companies, food industry and similar, just to kind of stay in the sector.
All right. And did you always live in the Netherlands?
No, I moved to the Netherlands 5 years ago when I came here for my master's degree. And I studied then for 2 years at Wageningen University. And after I finished, I had to do my internship. So I got in contact with InfoSupport. And then it was like, oh, yeah, I kind of like it here. And I like the country a lot. So I just decided to stay and go on a journey of learning the language and such. So, yeah.
And you never thought of going back?
Well, I had a dilemma when I first got the offer from InfoSupport because I was not sure if I want to really stay and just work at the industry or do I also want to do my PhD and go more towards the research. Because on one hand, I really have the passion for both. So luckily at InfoSupport, I was able to combine both of my passions and do part of really projects for the customers combined with the research.
How do you combine those things?
Within InfoSupport, there are several research centers, and I got involved with the Research Center for Artificial Intelligence. The field of AI has been growing rapidly, so it is a really interesting area to be in. So based on also my background and, where my passion lies, they asked me to come and do my research there. So I got in touch with them during the internship and just continued afterwards as also full-time employer. So now, for example, I work 4 days a week for the customer and 1 day a week I'm spending with the AI research and doing really hands-on research, innovation and new really cool things.
All right, cool. But why do you love AI so much?
Well, first of all, I love mathematics and that is a really big part of AI. And you know how often you're talking to people and especially also in school, they're complaining like, oh, but why are we learning so much mathematics? So how does this correspond to real life? When are we ever going to be using this? Well, with AI, you really have it 101. This is what it means. Basically, from my perspective, if you love maths, if that is also where your passion lies and you want to do something with it, AI might really be a good option for you.
Sounds good. And what else?
Well, if AI is used right, businesses can really profit from it. It can really tackle the real life problems that we are facing. For example, if we look from my domain and focus on farmers, they are currently widely discussed with climate change happening and the whole also in the Netherlands discussion about stikstof and pollution. Of course, there is a lot of pollution and we cannot go on this way. However, a lot of farmers don't know how to change. They would like to, but they're trying to find a balance between, keeping their livelihood as well as, starting with the change. And in order to tackle this, technology and especially AI and robotics and such can offer solution.
All right. And can you offer us an example of such a solution?
Yes, for example, in the past, when a farmer had a lot of crops, he would just cover them with pesticides because he didn't want the plants to get sick. But with those pesticides, a lot of good bacteria in the soil also go to waste. And after a couple of years, you kill also the good and bad bacteria in the soil, and it is not fertile anymore. It is completely tired, it's really worn out. And in the past few years, we have developed smarter machines that can recognize a sick plant, target it and remove it before it starts to infect others. So you can do a more tailored solution really on the individual plant level rather than, on the whole field. And this way, maybe you don't have to use pesticides on all of the plants to begin with.
Well, that's really a smart solution.
Yes, it is really amazing, and there are a lot of cool things happening similar to this one. Another example is there are also machines that recognize in what growth stadium each plant is and fertilize it and give it, really a tailored treatment specific to what are the needs of that plant at that certain moment of its life. And this way, you're not wasting unnecessary fertilizer, and the harvest is ultimately better. So I think it's really important for the technology to add value to the company, add value to the business, and by doing that actually add value to the world.
Even wat afwisseling, want het is tijd voor ons vaste programma-onderdeel Dilemma's. Het werkt zo. Onze infosupporter krijgt meerdere dilemma's voorgeschoteld, waarbij zij moet kiezen. So, Thea, your regular job or your ambition?
A mix of both.
You have to choose.
I would say my ambition, because also with my job, I do get a chance to, work on my ambition and really develop it further. So it's kind of complementary to each other, but yeah.
Earn a lot of money or make your dreams come true?
I think also with the agri-food domain, it's really make my dreams come true.
Alone on a project or with colleagues?
Or with colleagues, definitely.
Working from home or at the office?
I'm in that team half-half.
You have to choose.
I just moved into a new house, so then still working from home.
Electric or petrol driving?
Electric.
Friday afternoon drinks or a company field trip?
Friday afternoon drinks.
Retiring early or as late as possible?
Retiring early and then traveling and working further on the ambition.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Learn something yourself or teach someone else something?
Learn something myself, and then when I'm, expert enough, teach others.
.NET or Java?
.NET.
Graphical user interface or command line interface?
Graphical.
PC or console?
PC.
Get up early or late?
Late.
Pizza, with or without pineapple?
Always without.
Always the same client or a different client every 3 months?
Different client.
Home automation, yes or no?
Hell yes.
100 or 130 kilometers an hour?
130, but then in combination with electric car.
Programming, hobby or work?
Hobby and work, because hobby that pays really well.
All right, that's them all. Back to the interview. What's your greatest ambition?
Apart from adding value to the business and ultimately also to the world, I also want to help people understand what AI actually is. AI is seen as a black box by so many companies and so many people. You really see all the doomsday scenarios also in the media. And some people are really scared of it, but they have very often no idea how it can actually help them, how it fits into their business, into their company. This is something that I would like to change, because if you want AI to have a bigger role in the world and change things for the better, people have to know what it actually is. And that is actually the whole field of explainable AI that I find really interesting. I'm really passionate about it.
And how are you guys doing this?
Well, with the AI research teams, we are creating the whole set of white papers and podcasts. But we also, for example, do interviews. We prepare the trainings. We do also the articles, for example, for the Computable magazine. And all of us also very often speak at different conferences, trainings, seminars. So we try to stay active like that.
And is it something you really like?
I really, really find it fascinating. We are able to share our results, of course, but other people can also share their ideas. So we learn from each other. And I'm really interested in these fields, but things are also changing very rapidly. So together we keep each other sharp and updated. And by doing that, we stay on track. And in addition to that, I'm also part of a Google Developers Group, where I'm also really specializing in the data and AI part.
Whoa, that's really an achievement. How did you get in?
Well, when I was doing my master's, I received an IT 500 award. and which meant that I was in the top 500 promising ITs under 26 years old in the Netherlands. And at that event, I met the right people and I got introduced to this group.
All right. And for the listeners who maybe don't know what the Google Developers Group is, can you explain it?
Yeah, it is a group that organized a lot of seminars, meetups, networking events and trainings, especially focused on, of course, Google technologies and Google platforms. The whole purpose is also to promote Google's new technologies and innovations, but also to learn from each other and get better like that. I do all of this also in my free time, but also, what we were discussing earlier, kind of hobby versus work. It does not matter all that much because I really love it. It does not feel like work, but it really fills my batteries.
So you said you guys also offer a lot of training programs. Do you also attend those training programs?
Yes. For example, one of the big parts that I loved about info support is that we have our own Kenny Centrum or training center. So here you can take any course you like. If you want to take a training outside the company, you also basically have an unlimited budget. Very often you get from companies the talk like, oh yeah, we provide really competitive 5,000 euros per year that you can use for trainings. While with info support, the whole culture is that basically unlimited. If you are interested in something, you have the chance to do it.
So you get a lot of help from experienced colleagues. Do you also help other colleagues with the knowledge you acquired?
I think so. I'm not a hardcore developer like a lot of info supporters are. So I get also approached by students a lot about, things that I'm strong at. And I'm also supervising some interns for the past year. And I'm also, giving them feedback, especially from the research side. And that also teaches me a lot because they're still in the academic field. They know what is hot, what is happening. And when you're in the company, sometimes you lose that touch of innovation. So also by, teaching them something, I'm also learning from them myself. And they also offer a fresh pair of eyes and a different perspective.
So do you have any tips for listeners who also want to do something with AI?
First, get in touch with the community. It is so massive. You can find so many groups and topics, meetups where you can connect with other peoples that share the same passion. You can share your knowledge, share your ideas. And through that networking, people can also help you solve your own AI problems. Because sometimes a problem seems so big, but with help, with the brainstorming and the joint efforts, you can make it smaller.
So you're saying get out there as much as possible.
Yes, definitely. Now in Corona time, unfortunately, it is not as possible as in the normal times, but go to conferences, make your own podcast, write a blog, try to come up with all of the innovative, cool ideas. And, a lot of people are not that outspoken or don't know where to start. But basically, until someone, pushes them in the right direction or nudges them to do so. So possibly you can be that person to someone.
All right. And what does the future hold for you?
I really want to keep working for info support and continue on aligning AI with delivering actual business value and create guidance and solutions to help more people solve their biggest obstacles. In the Netherlands, you have so many opportunities in the agri-food domain, and I'm really interested in the environment and how things can become better. Let's save the world, basically. Info support has opened up this world for me, and there is still plenty to do.
Thanks for your time, Thea. Really inspiring to hear your story. En voor de luisteraar, ben je benieuwd naar onze andere IT'ers en hun ambities? Luister dan vooral naar de volgende podcast met Daan Klomp over zijn ambities als Scrum Master. En mocht je nou denken, ik wil hier ook werken? Op carrière.infosupport.com vind je ook alle openstaande vacatures van InfoSupport en kan je direct solliciteren. Tot de volgende.